Jam. Toon Jam.
Hello and welcome to Toon Jam. I am Matt.
And I'm J-Man.
And today we are talking about Bigtop Burger, something slightly different than our usual foray. So let me tell you a bit about Bigtop Burger. It is an original animated web series by animator Ian, in quotations, Worth It Kids, end quotations, Worthington. The first episode was released on June the 1st, 2020 on YouTube. The premise revolves around the titular Bigtop Burger, a food truck that sells burgers with a circus clown motif, and the shenanigans that truck's group gets into on their job, mostly because of their strange boss. All of the show's episodes can be found on Ian's YouTube channel for free, so just search Bigtop Burger, you'll find it. And season 1 ended after 5 episodes on August 10th, 2020. Ian has stated that he'll, and this is a quote, try to make a season 2 at some point.
There you go.
So there you go. There is more coming. So yeah, we decided to do something different. We're doing a little web series. This is not like any sort of circulated animated series like we're used to. So we're not talking, DuckTales.
No,
this is very, very different. So had you seen this before?
Yeah, I saw it as sort of like as they were released. So I saw each one individually, which is quite different than when you actually sit down and watch it all.
Yes, I watched this as a series, but it's only 11 minutes or so.
Yeah.
They're shorts compiled together. I'd never seen it before. How is it different?
It's just, I guess it's kind of wacky anyway, in the fact that just it gets a bit weird sometimes. So it's you sort of, when you watch them separately, you kind of forget that it's all kind of happening, in like one after another sort of thing. It just seems like a weird. It's just like a mix of odd vignettes on their own. Okay, yeah. Whereas when you see it all together, it's different because when they're released separately as well, like they'd each have a credits roll and everything. So it was like, oh, that was done. They all feel like the end. But yeah, seeing them all together, it's a little bit different.
Yeah.
Whole new experience, the Snyder cut, if you will.
Yeah, that's it. The Worth It Kids cut.
That's it.
As you might say. Okay, so before we dig in, what's Twitter got to say about Bigtop Burger?
Yeah, Twitter seems like there's many a positive comment on Twitter. But I think that I know they were posted out onto Twitter as the episodes were made. So Twitter, got a feed of Bigtop Burger pretty quick, and everyone seemed to be pretty happy with it. We've got Piemations, who says, Bigtop Burger did unthinkable things to my mind and body. Ooh. Which I believe is a quote from the show, but also good to take on board. There may be repercussions from watching Bigtop Burger. We've also got Johnny Phillips, who says, the thing about Bigtop Burger is that it's better than most things in the world.
Oh.
So,
I like the way that was phrased.
Yeah.
Almost,
caught you off guard.
Almost made you think, like, oh, what's he got to say? Oh, right, yeah, pretty good comment.
That's high praise. Better than most things in the world.
That's extremely high praise.
Yeah. What a review. If that doesn't go on the front cover of the, Blu-ray release, then what review is going to...
You ain't that.
We've got you have K-Holade me, that's his name, who says another day without Bigtop Burger, which I think is it's a sad and longing tweet.
Yeah, that's like the crying clown of tweets.
Yeah, just the sad clown. No, I think they may have experienced the Avatar effect, which was apparently like a condition that people who went to see Avatar in 3D at the cinema, when they left, like the real world seemed, miserable and you know, sort of almost monochrome in comparison to the
Is that a real thing? Did people actually?
Yeah, people. There was like it happened. It was a widespread phenomenon that people who watched Avatar then did not enjoy coming back to reality.
Do you know what? Like, just on a side note, how has no film like achieved that 3D-ness since?
I know, yeah.
Because it's one of them where everyone everyone seems to like diss Avatar. But I remember when I went to see it, and it was incredible. The 3D especially.
Yeah.
Like, wow, this is changing the way we watch movies from now on, surely. And then as time went on, you kind of forget how good it was because you see some other terrible 3D films. But then they re-released it, didn't they?
Yeah.
And I remember going again, and it re-blew my mind. I was like, it's not even a particularly like, it's not like I'm watching it in IMAX. It's still really good. So I can
imagine actually. IMAX would have just blown your head off completely.
I know. That would have been incredible.
Maybe that's where they saw it, or the Avatar effect people saw it in IMAX 3D and then were like, well, my life is pointless now.
It's weird that like they've not released it again, to be honest. I'm surprised. I suppose maybe when the new one comes out, they'll do a... Because, you know...
3029 when the second one comes out.
Because they just keep making money off that film.
Yeah, they'll do a double bill.
Yeah.
Where you definitely won't want to go home afterwards.
Oh, yeah. So,
Day ruined.
So, to go back to the tweets...
Yeah, to go back to the tweets.
We can now call it the Bigtop effect.
Yeah, the Bigtop effect is real, so be careful out there. Last one is Joris Apolaki VT. I've said that completely wrong, no doubt. Who says, I can't stop watching Bigtop Burger season 1. Help me. The soundtrack and plot is too good. So yeah, another struggling tweet from someone who watched Bigtop Burger.
Just really, really hooked on this show.
Yeah, addiction is real. The Bigtop Burger effect is, I mean, it's real out there. You know, we're just seeing a fleeting few tweets of it, but it happens to people apparently.
No, you're lucky. You guys are getting the warning.
Yeah.
No one warned me of this.
That's it.
The Bigtop effect. Genuine concern. Get hooked for life.
That's it. The world will never be the same again.
Yeah.
You know, see
but
food trucks.
I'm going to try to make a season 2.
Yeah. Which, I mean, is no doubt going to arrive before James Cameron's sequel to Avatar. So.
Yeah. So, you know, you can at least be happy about that. Okay. Well, let's. Is that all of the tweets?
That's all the tweets.
That's all the tweets. Okay. Let's dig in. So just a bit more back. Obviously, there's not a lot of background because it's not, you know, it's not the same kind of show that we're used to.
No.
But am I right in saying that this was made on Blender? Yeah,
it was all made in Blender 2.83, if I remember rightly.
So you use Blender. Tell us a bit about Blender.
Well, Blender's like it's a free to download. It's a 3D program for making 3D animation, but you can use it for 2D as well. And it does have some, you can have the ability to sort of like mix the two styles together. So from what I've seen of the sort of behind the scenes of where they doing this, you know, there's a lot of he's got 3D objects, other things, and he's sort of like moving the camera around. There's a lot of like forced perspective to sort of make it look like it's 2D. And so you can sort of see bits and pieces of like it kind of looks 3D when the camera moves around. Sometimes you get some nice sort of like sweeps or just the camera going in and out, and you get the perspective of 3D quite nicely and some cell shading and stuff.
Yeah.
But like Blender's it's an up and comer. It's definitely like see more and more people on it, and it's very versatile. Going back to the stuff we'd seen before where it was like everyone used to be using Flash, like that was the one that all the sort of the new animators were on. This is something quite different because it's you know, it's not necessarily for any one thing. So you can really mix bits and pieces together, and you end up with something like this, which is, it does look like a little different to other things, but in the same way, it's got kind of a familiarity to it, like, which is quite nice.
Well, that's good. It's got like you can kind of feel that it's you know, it's not it's not on like Nickelodeon or anything like that.
Yeah.
It's got that sort of small time feeling, but not in a bad way or anything. But you know, it's got a nice, I can say, a nice small time feeling to it.
Yeah.
But it also, you kind of question it because it's also, I would say, it looks quite professional.
Yeah. Yeah. It does look really smooth and stuff.
So it's hard to tell. Sometimes you're like, have they purposely gone for a small time? Because obviously I went straight in. I didn't know anything about it. Everything I researched afterwards. So it was just like, what, I'm not sure to what level that this is.
Yeah.
Which is quite cool.
Yeah, it's quite nice being like, oh, this could be either way. I just don't know. But yeah, I mean, the look of it as well, like, where these like characters all have quite a cool style. Like, they've got big heads. A lot of them have like really tiny eyes. Like, everyone kind of looks like they're squinting, and like every other character is like sort of like staring at you with a bit of a glare. But I mean, like, the character design is quite cool, and we get like, I mean, you see a lot of Steve, who's got seems to be like a giant head that sort of seems to grow quite a bit.
Yeah,
it's like, it's wide. It's kind of, it's shaped like a pear drop almost, and it just sort of seems to grow quite a bit. But it's, you know, all works quite well within the show. Looks really nice. And you know, it's a lot of clowns, which, for those of you who don't know, is also up my street. Along with the future.
As soon as we started watching it, I was like, "Oh, right, okay." So, I mean, I asked earlier just as part of the show, but I knew you'd seen this before.
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh, right, okay, that's why we're watching this."
Yeah. This is how it works. Yeah.
Yeah.
If there's clowns involved, I may have seen it, or at least I'll definitely be interested in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just how it works. Just how, you know, if there's a David the Gnome involved, Matt is there.
Yeah, I'm there with bells on, straight in. David the Gnome. We need to find. I mean, if David the Gnome had a clown episode,
oh man,
that's like Toon Jam gold.
You already know that's like 2 thumbs up.
Two thumbs
straight
up.
away. It doesn't matter what.
Every Jammy award going that's positive goes towards that. I mean, whew.
Oh yeah.
So yeah.
Straight in.
So yeah, the aesthetics you were straight in on.
Oh yeah. Love the clown element. So yeah,
I mean, clowns are a weird one. I'm obviously, well, not obviously, but I'm not afraid of clowns. You're obviously not afraid of clowns.
No.
A lot of people are afraid of clowns.
Yeah.
They're kind of almost like a taboo sort of character in some ways.
Yeah.
You don't see many clowns outside of like It and McDonald's.
Yeah, that's pretty much. Yeah, and I mean, that's probably why a lot of people are terrified of them.
Yeah.
Because, you know, either they were, you know, trying to eat people, or you were trying to eat stuff and they were interrupting you. So, you know, not a great sort of past experience with clowns. But I think, yeah, there is like they can sort of swing either way, because these clowns are very, very friendly clowns. You know, there's, I mean, Steve questionably sometimes gets a bit.
Yeah, well, Steve is a strange character. Because, I mean, he's just like on another planet.
Yeah.
Whereas
the abilities
like
normal as well. Yeah.
You know, they're still like characterized, the other 3 on the truck.
Yeah.
In a way, but like you've got like a really nice one, you know, your classic sort of Raven type character from Teen Titans, and then just sort of a guy that's on there, just a, you know, general nice guy.
Yeah. And
then you've got Steve.
Yeah.
Who is an
the wild card.
Yeah, scary weirdo that is also the boss.
Yeah, somehow.
Yeah.
We don't know how that happened.
But he's funny. He's not actually scary.
No.
is just weird.
Yeah. And it does add some appeal to it, because he's where all the sort of unpredictability comes in. Because you do have this, it's quite a nice mix of, you've got your sort of standard almost sitcom setup of these guys are just trying to do their job in a retail environment. They're on a food truck, they're just trying to sell burgers. They don't necessarily know the rules of how that works. As pretty much anyone who comes to order a burger, they aren't greeted with one immediately. There's some sort of mishap
sometimes
before.
at all.
Yeah, sometimes they don't get one. It's and Steve is, the unpredictable element. So anything could happen with Steve.
He's the reason as well that they're not getting served.
Yeah.
Yet he also owns the van.
That's it. He's both the reason that they've ordered a burger and the reason they're probably not going to get one. Yeah.
It's a pretty cool little silly premise.
Nice mix, yeah.
Well, sorry, I derailed you on your talk of clowns. So you've got the friendly ones, and obviously Steve's a bit more the clown that, he looks a bit more like an It type.
Yeah, he does have a bit of a Pennywise kind of look to him.
Yeah.
But he's still, when everything's settled, he's still pretty nice. He's not trying to hurt anybody. Apart from that elk, possibly.
And his enemy, the zombie burgers.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No. But they had it coming. To be fair, they attacked first. So.
Yes. Yeah. Well, actually, you say that he's the one that rammed into him.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah. Steve shot first, then apparently.
Yeah. It's a classic Han Solo character.
Yeah. Who knows? They allude to the fact that there've been,
there's a history.
Yeah. There's some aggro between them both. So we don't know. But yeah, I think if you're kind of on the fence about clowns, I'd say dive into Bigtop Burger.
Yeah. I don't think it's not going to scare you.
No, they're pretty nice folk.
But just to go back to that point, you don't see them much outside of these sort of areas, and the only other clown I can think of in cartoon form outside of McDonald's is Charlie Chalk. Yeah,
Charlie Chalk. He's not really about much nowadays, I suppose.
No, he's vanished, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Charlie Chalk was big, but we've not done Charlie Chalk actually, have we?
No.
He's got a wacky way of talking and a funny way of walking.
Charlie Chalk. Yeah, clowns they're almost kind of making a comeback in a way that you'll see one every so often.
Yeah.
But I think there still is like a sort of stigma to clowns, like that they're just. I'm guessing it's probably because probably one of the most famous clowns is the Joker, who is infamous
of course.
character, and not necessarily well liked in a wider community. You're just seen as a villain. He is a villain. But every now and then you'll get a clown pop up, which is quite nice if you're a fan of clowns. Like we had, is it Chuckles in Toy Story 3, which was like, oh yeah, that's quite cool. But I did go and try and find a Chuckles toy in like the Disney store. Couldn't find one. Underrepresented, the clowns, I must say.
Truly.
Yeah, but Bigtop Burger, no sir.
No sir. And people hooked on the clowns.
Yeah. Hooked on the jugglers, as some would say.
Yeah.
Jugglers.
I tell you, to sort of to go on another point, what I did really like about it is as well, for saying it's like it's got sort of a silly humour, which I do get on with.
Mm-hmm.
I did find it very funny.
Yeah.
And because it's like the customers are fairly just like casual people. And it's just silly nonsense going on.
Yeah.
But I felt like it could easily be one of them understated sort of cartoons where it doesn't need to be one.
Yeah.
But there's all sorts going on in this as well. So like they're really playing with. Well, Ian is really playing with the animation.
Yeah.
So you've got that whole fight with the zombie burger thing.
Yeah.
It's like they've got cannons coming out the back of the car. He runs alongside it and like slices it with a samurai sword. and they fly off. There's all sorts going on in there, like visually.
Yeah,
And
it's
it's weird
really
to think that he's doing more with the animation than some cartoons we've seen.
oh, definitely, yeah. Yeah, it's really going places, and with the aesthetic and the style, and I mean just the story. Like I think judging by just what I've seen briefly scrolling through Twitter, like the idea of like Big Top Burger has inspired so much fan art from people designing their own their own food vans to sort of like creating clown versions of themselves and stuff, and like it's sort of like it's like it's a tiny snippet of its own universe. We've now got it's like a rival food van fantasy element going onto it, which is quite cool. Like because it's just something probably we're not really used to.
Yeah.
And so it's got a lot of things that are sort of it all packed into this 12 minutes. That can really go places, I think.
And one thing I do kind of want to bring up as well is the voice acting is really good.
Yeah.
Like they're all like funny, very funny. It's really good. I mean, the only thing that I guess if you were really, really, picking at bits is some of the sound quality.
Yeah.
But it, for what it is, you can't fault it. Like it's funny. The voice acting is really spot on.
Yeah. I think even in some places, like, because usually it's like I think it's like an odd character will just have sort of like a weird mic or something, but I think it almost adds to it in a way because it's sort of so silly. It's like, oh, it's good. It's like how Ike was always like this really weird pre-recorded child in South Park. It sounded like a kid recorded it in the other room.
Yeah.
But it just became like his voice. You're like, yeah, it just kind of reminds me of that.
Yeah. And it just goes to show you what you can do. Like, with I mean, I'm guessing no budget.
Yeah, I mean,
even if it's got a budget, it's not going to be, a big one.
No, I think it was, it's funded through Patreon. So there's a few patrons there, but I mean, essentially it was, it's a one-man show as far as I can tell. Like, the voice actors and stuff obviously contributed and stuff, but I think the animation style that was Ian. So I mean, if you are an aspiring animator out there, you want to make your own type of thing, like this is something you can work towards. And I mean, the Blender is obviously a tool you can use to get there as well.
Yeah,
which
definitely.
is free. So zero budget. It's crazy really when you think one man can make this nowadays, whereas whole studios were struggling to do this 20 years back.
It's insane. It's really what a cool thing. And that you can go out and do this now, and it is cool that we are seeing some sort of really sort of high quality stuff on YouTube, and like this is I mean, we've not done that many, but this is probably the second YouTube one, but they've it's been a high quality, and it does seem like a good place to kind of put stuff out there, and then hopefully stuff like this gets more recognition and gets picked up in some way from I don't even know if that's what he's looking for, but
I mean, and recognition alone, it's wherever they want to take it, I guess.
Exactly.
It is sort of changing, isn't it? Like the way that we see animations, the way we take them in, and where we go for them, I suppose.
Yeah, definitely. All right. Well, shall we head over to our reviews?
Yes. Yeah, so we've got a call for Ike Broflovsky. So someone wants to do. You want to audition for Ike? Is that right?
Yes. Yeah, I'm really interested. I really like I read the script for the first South Park episode. I'm just stoked to be part of it. I really am.
Oh, that's great. I mean, what we just need is like a kid's voice, just nice, easy kid's voice, whatever you've got up there, in the high register there. Let's see what we can do. Whenever you're ready, just say, "Don't kick the baby."
Don't kick the. I'll do in my kid's voice, obviously.
Yeah. Okay.
Hey, don't kick the baby.
Oh, yeah, that was cool. That was really good, but it just sounded like you it sounded like you were elsewhere when you recorded that for some reason. Is there anything wrong with your mic there? Did you
Oh, I
notice
don't, can you hear me all right now? Does it sound?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It sounds fine now. Oh,
Yeah.
maybe it sorted
Oh,
itself
so, yeah.
out.
Just my internet does. Yeah, it's bad connection sometimes. So maybe. It's
Yeah. No. Yeah. It happens all the time. Don't worry about it. So yeah, just go again. Just go again with the "Don't Kick the Baby."
Okay. Hey, don't kick the baby.
Oh, did you did you lift up a large tumbler to the microphone there and then speak?
No. I did try to do something a bit different with it. I didn't know if you just didn't like the first one that much. I was just trying to do some different voices.
No, something's the connection there seemed a bit wonky. I don't really know what's
Well,
going on.
I've got my settings up. It seems to be fine.
Let me just check mine. I mean, everything seems good. Let's just go for another one. We'll just work the kinks out. I'll be fine.
Okay.
So yeah, let's go again.
Okay, so. Hey, don't kick the baby.
No, see, I mean, yeah, I like what you're doing with the voice. It sounds like you're trying to talk to us through the sewers for some reason. I'm not really sure why that is.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know. I mean, does that help?
I mean, yeah. Let's just give it a tap. It's always the tap, isn't it? Yeah. I mean, yeah. It all looks good here, and it sounds fine now, which is really strange. So, well, I mean, we'll give it one last shot, and we'll see how it works. So let's just go for one more. See what you get.
Okay. Hey, don't kick the baby.
No, no, it really does sound like you are like whistling through a vuvuzela for some reason, and I don't know why that is. But I mean, I've got to say, I really liked it.
Okay.
I really liked that. Yeah, I think we're going to use that one. That's it.
Oh, great. Okay, so here at Toon Jam, we have a 3-point rating system that goes as follows. Thumbs up. Clans are back, baby.
Oh, yeah.
Thumbs down. Charcoal burgers.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, zombie burgers are a no-go. And shaky middle is the fact that mainstream animation doesn't give you the Avatar effect in the same way that this has done. No. Get on the Bigtop effect.
Yeah.
Okay, so good, bad, sort of on the fence in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Bigtop Burger, your thoughts?
Well, I mean, straight away we've got clowns, so I'm happier than I was the moment before I watched the thing that had clowns in it, because there was no clowns previously. So now I'm pretty happy. There's clowns. We've got a clown driver, so we've got a clown in a prominent role as well. He's a leader. We've got the whole burger thing as well, and I'm a fan of burgers. So I mean, if just straight from the get-go, basically I've read the title and I'm pretty happy at that point. So actually watching the animation, it looks really cool. I love that the blender stuff's in there. That we get to see it from it's not just like a static 2D thing. We've got a lot of cool angles and stuff going on. The characters are fun and likable straight away. There's a lot of weirdness with Steve, and I like the weird as well. I think overall as well, I mean, it's quite short, and I mean, sometimes that's bad, but I think they really crammed a lot into those sort of few minutes of segments, and it's really fun to watch. It made me laugh, and I'd really I do want a little bit more, which is a good thing when you finish something. So for me, I think it had lots of elements that I really enjoyed, and there wasn't really anything that I could say I didn't like about it, so that's gotta be a thumbs up for me.
A thumbs up, the highest of praise. I can't help but agree with what you're saying. It's refreshing. It's something different. The humor's almost like, we talked about not on last week's, but the week before, on the lava episode, we sort of talked about like the strange internet humor.
Yeah.
And this sort of has some of that, but it isn't in a way that isn't just funny because it's strange.
Yeah. It's
funny. It's like does make you laugh, and it is strange, but it is funny. The animation looks really cool. It kind of like, it looks sketchy.
Yeah.
But in a very well done way. Like and it's quite nice to look at as well, which you know, it could easily not be. But it is. It's got like a nice look to it. It's cartoony enough, but has its own feel to it as well. Like I say, some of the sound recording is slightly off, but it doesn't affect it. You know, it's just as someone that's watching it to then give a review.
Yeah.
You're like, well, there's something. Otherwise, you know, the dialogue's great. The acting is great. The voices are good. So there's no real problem. So it has to be a thumbs up.
Has to be a thumbs up. Big thumbs up.
A great little show. That I would recommend everyone go out and watch. So, and you can do so on YouTube. Bigtop Burger, check it out. I mean, what better review can you give than that? The recommendation.
Oh yeah.
Okay, well, thank you for joining us. I hope you enjoyed today's episode, and hopefully you won't be suffering too much from a loss of Bigtop after the ending.
It can happen though, so please be aware, guys.
Please be very aware, and hopefully there will be more soon. Let us know what you thought. Did you think the same? Are you one of the strange few that didn't get on with it? Let us know. I doubt there's many. But yeah, let us know. And you know, if you're a big fan of David the Gnome, just let me know. It's always nice to know another gnome head out there. But yeah, thanks for joining us. If you enjoyed today's episode, please feel free to rate and review us on whatever you listen to, as it really, really helps us out. You can get some bonus episodes over on our Patreon, which is patreon.com/ToonJamPod, and you can also follow us over on the three zombies of the internet, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at ToonJamPod. And get in touch with us. Maybe recommend anything you fancy us covering or whatnot, or maybe you know some off the radar animations that you'd like us to watch. Just let us know. But otherwise, until next time, thank you so much for listening, and you stay jammy.
Hey everyone, thank you for listening. If you want to help the show keep going, you can be extra jammy by heading over to our Patreon page at patreon.com/ToonJamPod. Here you can get a shout out on the show or unlock bonus episodes. Ratings and reviews anywhere you listen to the podcast also really help us out. So thank you, and stay jammy.